Look forward, walk or jump your feet to the top of the mat. Take a half lift, breathe in, and then forward fold. Heel toe your feet just a little bit wider than hips distance so that your legs form a V. And bend your knees just a little here. Good. Let your head drop completely. And then take your hands behind your ankles through the inside of your legs. So elbows inside the calves. Make an L shape with your thumb and pointer finger and hook them behind the ankle. Drop the head. The knees can bend a lot here if they need to. Let the head go completely. Good. And then tense your left fingertips underneath your face. Bend your left knee, lengthen your right, and reach your right arm up. You can drop your right hand to your low back or snuggle it to the inside of your left thigh. And then if you want the full bind, your left arm is going to thread behind the left leg. Fingertips will clasp behind you. And then try and straighten your legs to the best of your ability. Chin is turning towards the right shoulder. Head drops. Put a little more weight into your toes. Keep lifting up through the sitting bones. Good. And then return your left hand down, right arm up. Bend your left knee. Thread your right arm underneath the left arm. Eagle wrap your arms. Roll your way up to stand. Standing back bend at the top. Fingertips reach back. Forearms reach up. Step your left foot to the middle of the mat. Eagle pose, Garudasana. Right thigh wraps over the bottom leg. You can single wrap, you can double wrap and hook your right toes on the inside of your left leg. Or if you need more grounding, right toes to the ground, right outside the ankle, yogi's choice. And sink your hips back. Let the elbows sneak towards the knees. If they don't touch, no big deal. Keep anchoring both hips in place here. Good. And then come on up to stand. Unravel your arms up, nice and slow. Right knee up into the chest, biceps by the ears, flex your right foot. Step your right foot down, interlace your hands behind your back. Reach up through the heart. Let the fist drop down the back leg. And then it's your left leg that's going back for warrior three. So stand on the right leg, send your left leg back, tilt your chest forward, right? Nice and slow here, so it's a steady redistribution of weight forward. You're in an L shape, and the fists are reaching back, right? Let that open the chest and the shoulders. Keep pressing back through the left heel. Lift your left heel a little higher than you think you need to. The front of the chest almost feels like an up dog or a cobra pose. Nice. And then keep the bind, feet step together for chair, Utkatasana. Forward fold, roll over yourself and drop your head in. Fists will reach up and forward. Beautiful. And let your fingers come back down to the ground. Heel toe your feet, a little wider than hips width once again. Bend your knees, hook your L's of your thumb and pointer fingers behind the elbows. Bend your knees a lot here, and then let your head drop in. And then squeeze your knees in onto your shoulders or triceps a lot as the head goes, and keep reaching your tail up towards the sky and then forward. Good. Opening into the space between the shoulder blades and to the back body. Keep squeezing legs in so they're strong. Inner thighs feel like they're working pretty hard. Beautiful. Right fingertips tent to the ground, right under your face. Bend your right knee, lengthen your left, send your left arm up. You can even put a block here into the bottom hand if you need. If you're taking half bind, left hand to your low back. If you're going for full bind, right arm will thread underneath the right leg. Fingers will clasp here behind you, and then try and lengthen both legs and drop your head in. Keep rotating here through the torso. The trunk is spinning up. Put some more weight into your toes, but don't let the heels leave the ground. And then keep reaching your feet up. Good. Right fingertips back down. Bend your right knee, left arm up. Thread your left arm underneath the right arm for eagle arms. Bend both knees. Roll your way up to stand. Take your time as you unfurl the chest. At the top, the forearms reach up. Fingers want to reach back. Forearms moving away from your nose. And then level off your elbows. Right foot steps to the center of your mat here. Left thigh on top of the right. Bend both knees, especially the standing knee a lot. The deeper you bend the right leg here, the tighter wrap you'll be able to get the left thigh on top of the bottom thigh, which then allows you to go for the double wrap of the toes hooking behind the calf or ankle of the standing leg. And if you're burrowing, start to bend knees, make your way forward, keep scooping the belly back. Feel the space between the shoulder blades widen as the shoulder blades wrap around the side of the torso. Make sure the breath is still flowing with ease and flowing fully. Left knee into chest to rise. Take your time in the transition to maintain the balance as you grow tall. Reach your arms up, left knee into chest. Step your left feet to meet the right. Hands interlace behind you. Different thumb on top. Send the fist down. Heart rises, gazes up. And then switching standing legs. So left leg stays down. Right leg goes back. Tip your chest forward. Extend your right leg behind you. Keep reaching the fist back to keep the chest lifted. Keeping the front of the heart nice and broad here. There's a slight element of a back bend here, especially with the bind of the hands behind you. And if it's too much on your shoulders, feel free to bend your elbows a little here or a lot. Give yourself some space. Keep the palms gluing together to the best of your ability. Keep your bind. Step your feet together for chair. Send the fist down. Reach your chest up. Forward fold. Uttanasana with the hands interlaced. Keep reaching the fist up so the shoulders don't drop onto the ears. Fingertips down, heel toe your feet, a little wider than hips width again. And then bend your knees, hook your L of the thumb and pointer again behind your ankles. Sink your hips back. Look forward through your heart. Squeeze knees in, right? If you need to keep this a little higher, take it. Important here is the squeezing the knees in. Firefly, Titibasana, if you're playing with the arm balance. You might want to set blocks right behind your ankles if the ground feels far, right? My blocks are propping up my camera over there, so my hands are going flat on the ground. Stick your butt back to keep the chest lifted up. Crawl your toes forward. Maybe this is as far as you go today. Work on the back bend. Work on the squeezing in of the legs. Maybe your toes will float off the ground. Again, squeezing in on the legs a lot, like you're clamping in onto a tree trunk. The arms are your tree trunk. Keep lifting your heart. Keep looking forward and think about tailbone tipping upwards, right? So as you reach the seat back, reach it up at the same time. And then come on down. Whew. Namaste for exploring that one. And find your way into down dog vinyasa if you want it. If you don't need the vinyasa after that, you'll skip it. Plank pose, breathe in. Knees down, child's pose as you exhale. Take a moment here and just melt into your mat. Low cobra, bhujangasana. Lift up through the heart. Tense your fingertips off the mat. Reach up through the chest. Maybe reach a little higher than the version we took in the beginning of class. And then release the forehead back down. Inhale, lift back up, press into fingers. Let that help you open the chest more. Exhale, come back down. One more time, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, come back down. Sphinx pose, elbows directly under your shoulders here. You want a 90-degree angle of the arms. Forearms parallel, wrist in line with the elbows, elbows in line with the shoulders. Take your toes together, press down into the tops of the ankles, tops of the feet, and then press down into the pubic bone, almost like you curl your pubic bone up into your belly button. And then the fingertips kind of grip at the ground and think about dragging your heart forward, right, as you pull the ground towards you. You won't actually move, but you will feel a slight shift of the belly stretching longer and the heart stretching forward between the biceps. And then make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead down for a moment. Do nothing and just regather. Good. One more Sphinx pose. Elbows set up right under the shoulders. Look forward, point the toes back, strong through the legs. Press down into the pelvis. Roll your chest open. Tuck your toes under, forearm plank. So tuck your toes under, let them be hips width. Press the heels back a lot, that the shins already lift off the ground, but the hips and the thighs do not. So feel the strength of your legs, and now press into your elbows even more. Good. From here, through the pressing of the heels back, forearm plank, pelvis lifts off the ground. All right, and if you're feeling pretty high levels of intensity here, you'll stay in forearm plank. If you're going for your dolphin pose, walk your feet in like a down dog. Elbows still stay in line with the shoulders. So if they got really wide, readjust your elbows and narrow them together. And then keep pressing here in your dolphin pose. Look between your forearms. Forearm stand preparation. Good. Those of you that are playing with forearm stand, off you go. There's a really quick tutorial breakdown of forearm stand at the end of this playlist. So if you're working on that or curious, hit pause on this one, go check that out. Explore the shape. If that doesn't interest you, keep working here in the dolphin pose and let this build the strength in the arms and the shoulders and the muscle memory through all the other shapes that will prepare you one day for forearm stand. Keep pressing down to the elbows. Keep pressing down to the thumbs so the inner edges of your forearm seal down. And then step your feet back, forearm plank, pelvis back down, Sphinx pose, unwind it, elbows wide, forehead, rest the back of the hands. And just rest for a moment here and recover. Bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand for the right foot, reach back with your left hand for also the right foot. Take your knees together, big breath in, lift everything up like a shalabhasana meets a dancer's pose, fully bound. So your toes are up, your thighs are off the ground, your chest, shoulders rolling back, right? If you find like you're cranking into the back of the neck, so you can go longer through the back of the neck. So the gaze is slightly forward, so the neck stays an extension of the spine. And then come on down. Pillow with the hands. Rest the forehead down. Let that one settle in for a moment. If it felt really hard to bind the feet, you can also just wing your arms alongside the torso, bend your right knee, and that will require even more strength in the back body to lift up. But you can always keep the arms free and let them just wing next to you. Left knee bends. Left hand, outer edge of the left foot. Right hand, inner edge of the foot or ankle. Point the right toes, big breath in, rise up. Dancer's pose means shalabhasana. Let the chin stay more neutral. If the knees are winging wide away from each other, narrow them. They don't need to touch, but just keep drawing some energy between the thighs. Reach the right toes back more as the crown of the head and the heart reach forward. Right, we want the back bend, but we also want the length in the spine and the sides of the waist. Let the kick of the left foot open into the shoulders even more and lift you a little higher. And come on down. Rock your hips a little here, side to side, just release into the sacrum. And then flip over onto your backside. Hug your knees into your chest. Let your shoulders stay heavy and just rock a little here, side to side. We'll take our forward fold, recline on our back today. Ankle to knee, right ankle to the left thigh, close up towards the knee so you create that figure four. Thread your right arm between the thighs here, hands interlace in front of the left shin, flex your left foot, and hug your left knee into your chest. Let's keep both knees bent today for this shape. Keep winging your right knee up, but at the same time, can the left knee help press the right ankle and foot closer in towards your chest? Can the shoulders relax down? Feels like pigeon pose on its back. Right foot stays flexing. Should feel some stretch and engagement into the glutes, into the inner hips. The right knee keeps swinging up. Observe the breath coming in and out. Make it intentional, stretch it out. Let it start to draw you closer to that point of stillness for our final rest. Switch legs, left ankle, right thigh, close up towards the knee, hands interlace in front of the right shin. Flex both feet, and then using your basket of your palms to press the right leg into you. Right leg presses the left ankle into you, and then refine with the left knee still winging up towards the sky, while the left shin keeps drawing inwards. Soften your shoulders down. And even though you are using your arms to help hug the legs in, let it be more an added weight that's helping you rather than a really strong pulling action. There is some effort, but then once you settle in, let there be release and softness. Good. Unravel your legs. Hug both knees into your chest. Soles of the feet together, hands interlace on the outer edges of your feet, and then draw your toes closer in towards your chest. They don't need to touch, but knees will wing wide. It's a reclined Baddha Konasana. See how much you can keep hugging your feet in. And we usually take this one seated, and this really gives you an idea of what it feels like when we say to fold from the hip crease when we're seated upright, where we try and keep the length in the spine for as long as we can before letting the head drop in completely. And that might mean that you don't get as far forward of a fold where the chest gets as close to the toes. But that's okay because you're maintaining that long spine and the wide sacrum. Knees back together, soles of the feet straight up towards the sky. And then take your palms to the top of the thighs, flex your heels up towards the sky, and keep pressing your thighs into your palms. But at the same time, your palms are almost like a stopper, right? That don't let your legs move close to the chest. You want to stay in this L shape. It's like Dandasana, but on your back. Curl your toes in towards your shins. Spin the pinky toes down more. Press up through the heel bones. Keep the low back flat. A really strong connection between the palms and the thighs here as they equally press into one another so that both are at a standstill. Should feel like a lot of work. And then relax your palms down. Release your legs. Shavasana. In your Shavasana, palms flip up now. Curl the fingers open gently. Eyes are closed. If you're staying for a prolonged Shavasana and you want to take yourself out of it, once you're ready, you'll go ahead and switch off this video. And namaste. Thank you for practicing. Enjoy your long rest. And if you want to stay for the guided Shavasana, stay where you are. Let the bones get heavy. The eyelids just gently cover the eyes. Separate the teeth from one another. No effort. No more work. No more active work. There's a lot of other work that's happening now. Throughout the practice, we've focused on controlling the breath. Now do the opposite and just let it naturally flow at the pace that it does. And maybe the breath will slow so much that it almost feels like it ceases to exist. Just a slight flutter of in-breath every few moments, slight release of out-breath. And it's that space between the in and the out that the stillness and the meditation is waiting for you. And that's where you'll go for the next few moments as you allow your body to come to a complete stillness. Right? If there's an urge to move, see if you can work through that, unless you're in pain. If you're in pain, then fix whatever it needs that needs fixing. But otherwise, see if you can really commit here into the stillness. Enjoy the benefits of your work and your practice. And if you're ready to come back into your physical form, take a full breath in. A gentle release of the breath out through the lips. Small movement to the fingers, to the toes. Reawaken the senses, reawaken the awareness, draw them back inwards. Slide your feet back into your mats, rebending your knees one at a time, planting soles of the feet into the earth, rooting down. Arms reach overhead, and then reach in opposite directions. Stretch open. Tip over onto your right side. Pause here for a moment. And the eyes will stay closed. Your fingers will find the ground, and they'll help press you back up to sit. Find your Sukhasana comfortable seat. And once you arrive in your seat, reach the spine long up again, but then feel the rooting of the sitting bones down. And maintain that openness through that main central energy center, energy channel. And fold your palms to meet in Anjali Mudra, prayer right at the center of your chest. And then observe the energy levels. Observe the fullness and the pace of the breath. Observe the stillness of the mind. Know that this is a place that you can always come back to. The yoga practice gives us the tools to come back to our true selves, this true state of being, before all the external tugs us in different directions and keeps us creating stories in our mind. Reach your prayer up to your third eye, space right between your eyebrows. A final Om to seal in our practice. Find all three sounds in Om, the Ah, the O, and the right? They represent the start, the sustaining, and the destruction. Full breath in. Bow your way down, bowing to yourselves, to one another, to the practice, to all beings everywhere. May we all be happy and free. Namaste. Gorgeous work, yogis. Thank you so much again for joining me on the mat.